Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to another episode of my Slimming World update weight loss maintenance thing. I've no idea what I'm going to call this now because it just seems to be a maintaining journal almost. I am armed with my list of food and I think it's time to just jump right into it and let's talk about what I've been eating this month, what challenges I've had, and I have an extra little something to share with you. So let's talk all things weight loss. So now I've been doing this now. I've been maintaining for like 8 or 9 months and I've actually kind of lost count. This now to me is a lifestyle and I will of course keep you updated, but I'm probably not going to be filming food and recording food as much. I've thought about this in the last couple of weeks or so, and I'll explain why and what I do and why it might not be very exciting for you. I will keep doing these updates because I feel like there are always challenges to maintaining weight loss, losing weight, all that kind of stuff. And I want to focus more on those going forward as opposed to what I actually eat. So this video is going to be the last, I think, kind of food heavy video, but going forward we're going to talk more about challenges and how to be consistent and successful and all that kind of stuff, because I think now I'm at a stage where I'm actually able to discuss that. When I was losing weight and I was figuring it out, I didn't feel qualified, if that makes sense, to talk to you guys about maintaining, but now I've successfully managed it. I feel like that's okay. So longest intro ever. I am going to start with the food, then we'll go into the challenges and stuff after. So the last time we met was about a month or so ago. Since then, we've been to Amsterdam. We've been on holiday. It was lovely. It was really nice to go somewhere. And we've been to Amsterdam lots of times before, but to really go and just be in the city. Like, we had no plans. We had nothing really booked. We had a couple of things booked for the first day that we got there, like after we'd actually arrived, the first full day. And then after that we were free just to roam the city, have long lunches, all that kind of stuff. And we thoroughly enjoyed it. What I love about Amsterdam is the vegan food. There was so much vegan food, which for me is great. The hotel we stayed in was gorgeous. The food was amazing. So let's start there. I stupidly forgot to take photos of breakfast, which is really silly. But every morning I would have the same thing. So I would get 2 slices of wholemeal bread from the bread bin thing. They made fresh bread on site. They had their own bakery in the hotel and it was gorgeous. So bread with no butter, mainly because of my lactose intolerance. And then I had baked beans and sausages and what else did I have? It was all kind of fairly free. I had fried eggs. They were like 1 sin each. I just tried to load up more on protein things. So that was kind of my breakfast. And then when we first got there, I ordered the kimchi with prawns. This dish was phenomenal. I mean, I still think about it. It was great. And I'm sure it was well over sins, but when you're on holiday, you have to kind of make the best choices. And this is what we're going to talk about later in the challenges. So I picked everything I wanted, but everything that I wanted was kind of well thought out, if that makes sense. Then one evening I had salmon with chips because I figured we'd been walking all day, chips are fine on holiday. Then we went to a vegan burger place, and at this point all bets were off. At this point I didn't give a toss about any sins whatsoever. I wanted the dirtiest burger they had with fries, and I do not regret it for 1 second. That burger was phenomenal, and that's what we're going to talk about when it comes to making the choices. So now we're back home and oh no, we're not. No, I messed that up. When we were there the last time, we literally bumped into this vegan cafe and the couple that ran it had just opened up. This is going back to like April last year. And we virtually lived in there. Their food was amazing. Everything was cooked fresh on site. They'd only been open a couple of weeks. And ever since then, I've been following the lady on Instagram, and we've been going back and forth. So we went back to Amsterdam, of course, we went back there, and I had this amazing, it's like a sandwich. I've written burger, but it's not. It's like a sandwich that had like corn, and it was like almost like a katsu sauce. It was amazing. And then they made homemade tiramisu, all plant-based, all vegan. Oh God, it was good. And there was a lot of wine on this holiday, but the way that I justify this to myself is that we walked, I think, around 27 to 30,000 steps a day for like 4 days. We walked our legs off. So do you know what? I don't care. That's the mindset I'm now in. So we get home, and I had my standard pasta, meatballs and veg. I think this was a kind of thrown together thing. I had some meatballs left in the freezer that I just wanted to use up, and I just threw in some pasta, and I took it to work for lunch the next day. Then I had a genius plan. I have the Protein World mug cakes, at work, and I have a code. I will insert it here for you. And I've partnered with Protein World, and these mug cakes are plant-based, they're vegan, they're amazing. But I suddenly thought, what can I do to make this better? So I made a little hole in it, and I put some chocolate choc shot in it, and that made it so much better. It was only like extra half a sin, so it just felt ridiculously naughty instead of just plain naughty. So good for me. So then now we are back home, we're sort of settling into our normal routine, and Stu's back in the kitchen making stuff from the Take 5 books. And this is why I'm sort of getting a bit kind of like, you guys are going to get bored of our meals soon, because literally everything we make at home is from the Take 5 books. We love the fact that it's 5 ingredients, nothing's really complicated, you don't need 50,000 pots to make stuff, everything is simple. So this was the chicken and kale and potatoes dish. It was lovely. I love kale. If you can find kale, we really struggled. There's some weird stuff going on in the UK right now with food and supply chain and Brexit and all that kind of crap. So some stuff is really hard to get, especially fresh stuff. And then we had the, this is a weird one, but it was actually really nice. Sausage, carrots and bean sprouts dish, again, Take 5. Was really nice. This is more of a lunch thing. I'm sure we had this for lunch. And then it was really cold. We had a spell in the UK for like 2 weeks where it was, again, back to the minus numbers. It was ridiculously cold. And I just didn't want to have my overnight Weetabix anymore. I went back to my fake sausage and egg McMuffin. I had a wholemeal muffin, and I make 2 scrambled eggs in it with the Linda McCartney rosemary and onion sausages. Oh, I make this at work in the microwave. Everybody gets so jealous when I do it. It was honestly lovely, and it really, really keeps you filled up until lunchtime. This has become a bit of a staple for me, this stag chili and rice. I either have it at lunch on a day that I haven't got any meal prep ready. I've always got a couple of these in my office just in case. And I always have a pack of emergency microwave rice because it's just the handiest thing to have. It saves me from going out and buying something that's loads and loads of sins, where I can just have it on hand in the office. The stag vegetable chili is honestly so tasty. It's really low in fat. It has fresh vegetables in it. I mean, I know it's a tin, but you know what I mean. It's loaded with vegetables. It's really good for you, and it's free food. If you're really focusing in on your weight loss, this with basmati rice that you make at home, that's a completely fresh meal. I always put my cheese on top of it, my healthy extra A. So if that's something that you struggle with finding main meals that are free, that is a really, really good one. Then we had this aubergine and pomegranate salad thing. It was lovely. It wasn't very filling, but tastes sensation. It was lovely, and it looks gorgeous as well. It was really good. Again, take 5, another take 5 book. Then at work, I just had salads all week. I do the same thing every week. I'm really boring with my work lunches. I rarely get bored with this rotation, but I tend to do like a week of salads, then a week of something with tins and rice, and then a week of whatever. And I just alternate like 2 or 3 different things. And this whole week was salads, and my salads tend to consist of either jacket potatoes, I pre-cook them in the air fryer, or mini boiled potatoes, or I've recently discovered that the vegetable rice from Bird's Eye, the microwave rice, is really nice with the salad. And I just have salad leaves, cucumber, tomatoes, something pickled like a pickled gherkin or pickled beetroots are my favourites. Boiled eggs are a really good one, it's a good source of protein. And then I might put cheese in my potato or on my potato if I want to use my healthy extra A. So that's kind of what I had all of that week. Then on Mondays, I'm such a creature of habit, and what doing these videos made me realise how freaking boring I am. But every Monday I have a burger and chips. Monday for me are my busiest day at work. Everything happens, all the meetings happen, like all the deliveries come. It's just really, really, really busy. And when I get in, this is my weak spot. Like when I get in and I'm tired, I just think, oh, I want some crap. And I always have on hand for that Monday my burger and chips. I have the Asda plant-based meat-free burgers. They are 1 sin each, so I have 2 of those. I have a wholemeal roll as my healthy extra B, and then I have the potato, and I make the Slimming World chips. If you don't know how to do these, learn. They are a game changer. You can buy them in Iceland if you want to, but it's like £3.50, and a potato is like 25p. So you basically cut a potato into chips, parboil it for about 2 to 3 minutes. While they're parboiling, I heat up my air fryer for 3 minutes. This is the important bit. Once the potatoes are parboiled, drain them off, put them onto a kitchen towel to drain any of the moisture out of them. Then hoy them in the air fryer, spray them with some fry light. My sweet spot for my potatoes is around 14 to 15 minutes. So I do 10 minutes, give them a good shake, maybe do another 4 or 5, kind of play that by ear depending on the potatoes. But chef's kiss, you can use your cheese in it if you want a cheeseburger from your healthy extra A. A bit of ketchup's like half a sin. It's such a good, essentially free meal that makes you feel like you've scratched that itch of a takeaway. Another one of my go-tos is my pasta pesto. Now this is the maintaining part, because this is fairly high in sins if you are really doing Slimming World. So for me, as a maintainer, I am allowed 30 sins 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm allowed an extra 2 healthy extras a day, so I can choose which I want. So I could have an extra roll or an extra bit of fibre, or I could have an extra piece of cheese or what have you, or more milk, whatever. So this is where I'm allowed to like use my sins, and I'm a little bit more frivolous with them, because the pesto that I use is the Asda free from pesto, and it is vegan. Well, it's not vegan, it's just free from milk. So sorry, it's free from milk, and the whole jar is like 6.5 sins or something. So the pesto, I use half of it, so that's like 4 sins, let's say, for example. Then I put black olives in. They're weirdly quite high in sins. And then I just load it with loads of frozen veg and have pasta with it. And I love it. But if you are really taking care, this is one to avoid, or just when you want to use your sins in that way. All depends on what you want to use your sins for. Then I went out. There was a lot of going out this month, and this is where, again, the challenges will come in. So I went to Oaxaca, which is, I'm not sure if it's just a London thing or if it's a nationwide thing, I don't know. But Oaxaca is like a Mexican street food restaurant, and I wasn't prepared for there to be a great vegan menu, but there was. So at this point, I'm kind of like, okay, all bets are off. Tacos are not healthy. I'm not going to get anything within sins. Again, I didn't go wild and went for the highest sin things, but they recommend you have 2 to 3 portions per person because they are quite small. So I had 3 different sets of tacos, and oh my god, it was good. I had the black bean tacos, I had the no chicken tacos, I had a vegan one, and then there was something else with avocado taco. Oh my god, it was so good. And the reason I have vegan when I go out to eat was because of the whole dairy thing. I just don't trust places, I'm going to be honest. If they say it's dairy free, chances are it probably isn't, especially somewhere really busy in central London. I'm not about to trust them. So I had a taco with vegan cheese in it, and it was absolutely delightful, knowing that it's not going to make me incredibly sick. So that was great for me, and I would highly recommend it. But again, it'd be well without sin. Like, the sins in it would be ridiculous, I'm sure, but as a little treat, it was delightful. Then we had Nandos, again, another night out. So this was a 5 sin special. I love Nandos for keeping up with Slimming World. It's one of those places where if a friend knows me, they'll go, oh, let's go to Nandos. If they know it's I'm really comfortable with. If one of my friends is doing Slimming World, because now lots of them are, we always go to Nandos. So the 5 sin special, if you don't know, is the butterfly chicken with skin on, and it is delicious. But you have to get the plain-ish one, so plain spice, no spice kind of thing. Then you get the regular spicy rice and a side salad. Now, because I go out in the evenings after work, usually I don't drink alcohol, so that's absolutely free for me. I don't really have a Diet Coke because I can drink that at work, so I just stick to tap water. It's really dull, but that's me. I stick to tap water. And then I use a half sin if I want to on a sauce. All of the Nando's sauces, I think for a tablespoon, a half a sin. And a tablespoon of one of their sauces is a lot. Their sauces are really runny, so great. Love Nando's for that. Then one day I splashed out and I went 4 sins, 4 on a soup. Now, I wouldn't normally do this. Like, this is not my kind of thing. You're probably thinking, Kath, what are you thinking? Soup is boring. Yes, it is. But this wasn't any soup. This was the Heinz creamy tomato plant-based vegan soup. Now, might not sound very exciting. For someone that's lactose intolerant and hasn't been able to have a real Heinz tomato soup for 16 years now, this was all out. Oh, I went wild. I loved it. I had a bread roll with it, with butter, Vitalite butter, but still. So my whole lunch was probably about 7 sins. I didn't even care. This tomato soup was delicious, and it weirdly kept me full. But I felt like I was a teenager again, having a sick day, watching This Morning and Supermarket Sweep. Like, that soup is so nostalgic to me, and it's still freaking delicious. No guilt there whatsoever. I loved it. And finally, well, not finally, no, that's not true. Coffee. So, right, let's dive in, shall we? Let's just talk about, let's talk about the differences between sins and bad food. This is what I was trying to explain about going out to dinner and making the right choices, or lunch, or whatever your meal out is. When you weigh up sins and you think, ooh, that's bad. Now, this is the way that I look at it in my head. And I do understand that now I'm coming from a different perspective. I'm not going to lie to you and say that when I was doing Slimming World properly, I was chill. I was obsessed, and I probably took it too far. But I reached my goal within 3 months. I lost 2 stone in 3 months. So taking it too far or not, I got there fast. And the fact is, I've managed to maintain it. And maintaining it is pretty difficult because you do have more freedom. So let's discuss, shall we? If I'm going out, let's use this Amsterdam for an example. if I'm going out on a long weekend away and I don't immediately think, right, I'm going for a weekend away, let's go wild. Let's drink all the drinks, eat all the food, and just face the consequences when we come home. No. That weight will find us when we get home. Then you just put yourself back even further. What's the point? Like, if I have 1 or 2 meals that I really, really enjoy, that are really naughty, like the vegan burger thing, I'm more than happy with that. If I went away and spent 4 days binging and gorging on food and wine, I would have to lose 4 or 5 pounds when I get back. If I have 1 or 2 really good meals out and really enjoy them and have whatever I want, I might only need to lose 1.5 pounds. To me, that makes sense. So when I go out and I look at a menu, depending on where it is, some places, like I say, all bets are off. If you know you want one specific thing that's really sin high, then fine. If you go somewhere and you're like, right, okay, I don't really fancy eating just junk. So I would always go for something like a fish dish. If there's chips with it, can I swap it out for rice? Can I swap it out with the jacket potato? Whatever. Like, I'll always ask those questions. If it's like a Nandos, for example, there are options I could have. I could easily have a wrap or a burger, but you go from having your 5 sin special to a dinner that's 27.5 sins. The Nando's vegan great imitator wrap is 32 sins. Just for a wrap, I can have chicken, rice and salad for 5 sins. I'm saving myself like 27 sins. That's ridiculous. So this is what I'm talking about by weighing things up, thinking about it, working it out before you go. If, like me, I was going to go to Lucky Cat, right? It's a really nice restaurant. If I'm paying that sort of money for a really nice experience, I don't want to think, oh, I'm just going to have this. No, I'm going to have what the hell I want, and I'm just going to face the consequences of it. But then the day before that, the day after that, even that evening, so we went there for lunch, I was on a plan, because I don't want to have to say, right, okay, I'm going to go for this one lunch, so the whole weekend is off. And that weekend was Easter weekend. And I'm pretty sure lots of people had that Easter anxiety. Let's discuss. So this year, I made it very clear to everybody that could possibly buy me an Easter egg. I don't want one. Thanks, don't get me an Easter egg. If there is chocolate in the house, I will eat it. And I have that thing that nags at my head. Like, if we have chocolate in the house, I'm not the sort of person that could eat 1 square and put it back. That isn't me. And I will, even if I feel sick, even if I can't fit anything else in my mouth, I will eat it. And that's not healthy. And I know that. It's not a good place to be. But this year, I order all of the Easter eggs for work. And because I'm a vegan person, because of the lactose intolerance, I got vegan Booja Booja truffles. If you've not had these before, honestly, they're amazing. So I had a box at work and I didn't bring it home. I hadn't opened it or anything. I spoke to my partner and I was like, right, if I bring this box home and I have the few that I want, I know the flavours I want to try, would you eat the rest? Because I don't want to give stuff to him and make him feel bad that he's eating bad stuff. But he hasn't got to be as careful as me, and he can put it away and he doesn't see any of it. So he was like, yeah, all right, I'll do that. It's like, okay, fine. So one evening I brought them home. And I was like, right, after my dinner, and I'm so proud of this, I waited till after my dinner. I took out the 3 flavours that I wanted. So I had 1 salted caramel, 1 espresso martini, and 1 something else, can't remember. I can't remember what it was. And hazelnut crunch. And then I ate the 3 of them and I was like, that's great. I managed to leave the box until he finished work, and then he demolished the lot. I literally had 3 chocolates. I was so proud of myself. And I've got to be honest, those 3 made me feel really sick. They were really, really heavy chocolate. But the fact is now, my mindset has changed. And I didn't deny myself the rest of the box. It's not like I really wanted them and I was like, oh God, I just genuinely didn't want them. And I'm so much happier now being slimmer, being lighter. It so outweighs the pleasure of like a couple of minutes of eating chocolate. Like when I stopped smoking, it's a prime example. When I stopped smoking, nobody said to me, not one person said to me, oh, but you love smoking. Oh, you poor thing, you must be really, really suffering. Oh my God, this is awful that you can't smoke anymore. Everyone was like, well done, so good for you. So glad you stopped smoking. When you say to somebody like, oh, I don't want that because it's going to make, it's not very good, or I don't want to, eat that really fattening thing because I'm doing Slimming World or whatever, they go, oh God, I feel awful now. Oh dear, oh. No, don't feel awful. Like, you do you. If you don't have to worry about your weight and you're happy the way you are, awesome. I wasn't happy how I was, and I don't want to be back there again. So therefore, knowing that 1 minute of eating chocolate and being like, oh, this is incredible, it's really tasty, then I've got to work a whole week to like get off that one stupid pound that I put on for a moment of weakness, eating 4 bits of chocolate or whatever. It's not worth it. Like, literally, the pleasure you get from eating something, and we all get that food guilt afterwards. Like, I don't care who you are. If you're doing Slimming World, if you're concerned about your weight, if you look at yourself and think you're overweight, the minute you eat something you know you really shouldn't have eaten, you feel guilty immediately. I can't be bothered with that. So now when I have something naughty that I really, really want, there's zero guilt because I know I want it. I know I've planned for it. Like the whole week we were going to Lucky Cat. I knew we were going to go there. So the whole week I was on plan. I stuck to my sins. I stuck to the original plan without the maintaining plan. So I didn't have any extra healthy extras. I didn't have any additional sins. I kept my sins low. I kept my exercise high. Won't see a thing on the scales. That is how I want to be. And that for me is consistency. That for me is a healthy way of doing things, because I can still have a cheat day. I can still have a cheat night, but I prepare for it. So that for me just makes it work. Case in point, pizza day at work. So I took this photo because it really, really made me laugh. We had a pizza day at work, and that is literally like a pizza party. I ordered 30 pizzas for everybody, and they all had a pizza, and the smell was amazing, blah, 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 blah. But I thought, oh, do you know what? Do I want to waste these sins on a pizza at work? Would I rather have these sins having a pizza, but with friends after work or whatever? Like, this is just a lunch break. Like, this isn't, and when you're having a lunch pizza party, like you're talking to people, you're basically just shoving pizza in your face. If I'm going to eat that number of sins, I want to shut up and enjoy it. I want to literally, like, don't speak to me. Let me have my food that I'm going to be, paying for the next week. Let me just enjoy it in peace. If you're talking to somebody and cutting food, you're not paying attention to what you're eating. So I sat there with all these empty pizza boxes around me, these boxes that just had loads of pizza in them, and I ate a salad. And it was a lovely salad. It was my potatoes and all that. It was a really good loaded salad, but it was still a salad. And people were like, oh my God, you're so good. Oh my God, how are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, do you know what? I just don't want it. Like, it's just not worth it to me. Like, I can't waste this much calories and this much on a lunch at work. I'd rather do a dinner out. That's just me. So, that's me listening to my body, listening to my new mindset, and being like, having the confidence to say, no, do you know what? I don't want to have that. I'm just going to have this. And I felt really good afterwards. Everybody else, after they felt sorry for me, oh, okay, I'm having a salad, they all sat there stuffed, being like, oh my God, I feel sick. Oh my God, I need to sleep. Oh my God, I can't fit anything else in my mouth. Oh my God, I'm not going to eat dinner tonight. And I was just happy. So there you go. Exercise. You guys have asked me about my exercise routine for ages, so here it is. In the gym, I do pretty much the same thing all the time. I know you're not really supposed to do that, but for me, consistency has always been key. Now, when I talk about consistency, I don't mean doing the same exercise every time. You're not going to like this, guys. You're not going to like this, but when you commit to doing Slimming World or a Slimming World plan, an exercise is built into it, you have to be consistent. So I go to the gym at least 3 times a week, And 2 of those 3 times is first thing in the morning during the week. Now, when I do this, and you'll know, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know, my alarm is set for 5:20 in the AM. I am very lucky to have a gym at the end of my road that's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. So I get up at 5:20. I have all of my clothes and everything here. I get changed. I put my hair in a bun. I don't wash my face. I don't brush my teeth. I don't do anything. I literally get up, get dressed, get my hair in a bun. I'm in the gym for like 5 to 6. I do 1 hour of solid exercise. So I get in there and I download stuff on my phone to watch. So at the moment I'm watching Love is Blind, for example. I'll watch half an hour of that doing my cardio. So depending on how busy it is and what machines are busy, because that time in the morning, believe it or not, it's still busy. So I try to get on the cross trainer for 15 minutes. And the cross trainer is the one that works your arms and your legs together. This one's amazing for me because I have a bad knee, so I can't run and pound the treadmill. So I can run on this because it's levitated, there's no pressure on your knees. I can go for it. I can really, really, really go for it. And I do it on a level 3. So there's a level 3 resistance, and I just pound it out for 15 minutes. And then I either go on the sit down stationary bike, because my problem has always kind of been my legs. So I like to do lots and lots of cycling on the bike. Again, whilst watching 15 minutes of that. If the bikes are all busy, I'll go on the treadmill and I'll go on an uphill incline to about 13. So it's like really high at about 3.6 speed. And I walk that for 15 minutes. And trust me, you feel it. It's a kind of 3.6, it's a kind of fast paced walk, but it's completely uphill. It is hard. Then I go to do the weights. So I will then do my sit-ups. So I tend to do around 150 to 200 sit-ups using my resistance band around my legs. And I do sit-ups where I bring one leg up and I sort of sit up so I can touch the top of my toe with my hands. So that makes sense. And then I will do about 200 of those, and then I use my resistance bands to give myself a levitated, like, so this is my back leg, I'll put it in like an L shape and I'll kick up, and that is to sort of get my butt a bit more shapely, because when I lost weight really fast and my butt just kind of went as flat as a pancake. So I'm now trying to do that. Because of my leg, I can't, or my knee, I can't do squats, so I do the leg ones. And I also do ones that are called fire hydrants with the resistance band. So you kind of get on all fours and you kick one leg out like this, and it does the inside of your thighs, and man, oh man, it burns. Then I go round the arm exercises. So I have one that you kind of, the bars are quite high and you push down, so it really builds the muscle here. I do that to 50 kilograms. Then there's one that you pull down, so that's literally called the pull down, and I do that for 30 kilograms. And I tend to do around 3 or 4 sets of 10 on each one of these. Then I go to the one where you put your legs, this is a leg one, so you put your legs underneath the bar and you lift it up to sort of do your thighs. So I do that at like 27 kilograms, and again I do about 50 of those. Or I do the leg press, which is like the big, like a metal plate, and you put both your legs on it and then you push it out. So I do that at like 60 kilograms. So I have to push 60 kilograms out with my legs. Then I do my stretches and then I come home. All of that takes me an hour. So I do that 3 times a week, and I have really, really, really seen results. Most people that know me say to me, oh my God, you're disappearing, you've lost even more weight. I haven't lost much more weight. I have lost a few extra pounds. I had to change my target again because I wasn't quite happy. I was always dipping under my target range, and I kept getting told off, and you shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. And in the end, I was like, look, I'm just going to change my target. This is clearly where I'm happiest. I keep going under target. I don't want to have to do that. So my target changed. That's why I got my new 2.5 stone award, because that is kind of where I'm happiest. And I'm going to stay here now. But exercise and consistency with food, with exercise, with all of this journey is key. Nothing works unless you're consistent. So guys, that is it. I've gone through all of my stuff. I really hope you enjoyed my new befores and afters that I was putting through in there as well. I found a few extra photos. Like I said before, I find it really hard to find old photos because I rarely got my photo taken because I hated it. But there we are. I really hope you enjoyed. And thank you so much for continuing this journey with me. Let me know what you think below of my new thoughts with the new way these videos are going to go. Because like I say, I don't know if the food pictures are boring you guys now. If not, I'm still happy to do them. But like I say, everything that we do when we aren't going out is all from the books. So it's all on plan. But I really hope you're still finding these videos useful. I love all your comments. I'm so glad these videos help you to stay motivated. I'm going to continue to be motivated. I will love to continue to motivate you. So guys, I will see you in the next video. Until then, stick with the program, stay consistent, and I will see you then. Take care.